Hi, everybody. This is my very first live stream, and the good news is that nobody's watching it, so it doesn't matter if it sucks or not. I think the concurrent viewer might be me, but that's okay. I'm here today to talk about illustrator Wally Wood, and I am trying to figure out his style. So if you look at the way he's drawn things, I've got a drawing up on the screen right now. And I apologize for my audio in case it really sucks, but doing the best I can. So we've got this horse, and one of the things about Procreate is that they've got all of these free brushes that come with it. And really wasn't able to find a brush that did what I wanted it to do. Like, I wanted the brush to basically, like, I wanted it to have that comic book inking style, and it's sort of hard to figure out what that's meant to look like. So the first place that I went is to these brushes made by this guy named George. They're all free brushes. I'll post a link for it, when I get to the place. when I upload this, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So you can see, like, these are the pens, and the G Pen Streamline is the pen that I was using. And the thing about that pen is that it gives kind of like a I don't know. It has this shape to it, like this shape right here where it's got like that pointy end to it, and I didn't love that. And this guy, he's got these other pens, and they're all great. Like the Elder, like these are based on pens that are sort of like the same as the kinds that of Wally Wood's contemporaries. Like the Elder is named after, I think, Will Elder or some Elder guy, but you can see it. Like, the thing that doesn't really match is like this part of it is like the edges. It looks almost like a charcoal pen. And if you look at what Wally Wood's strokes look like, they don't have that same look to it. And so you can see also that I've been filling some of this in. I'll turn off the stuff that I've done already, and we'll turn this up so we can just kind of look at it. And if you see, like his stuff just doesn't have, like, it has really strong edges. It doesn't have like that paper grain feel to it. So I really wasn't finding what I wanted sort of in this free arena. And so then that meant that I had to look somewhere else. And the place that I had to look somewhere else was in the paid realm. So I just got these the other day, and I'm really just trying them out. So that's what's happening here. So we've got this IGB Modern Inker. We've got Modern Inker Fat. And I think I played with it just a little tiny bit, and I think Modern Inker Fat is the one that I like because it has this really nice variation in size. And look how, like it looks like a brush. I don't know if I love, like, if you hold, like, it kind of has this, like, I don't know, we'll see. So we'll just ink some stuff with it and see how it goes. I'm going to turn the opacity on this layer down because I'm inking over it. And then this is all the inking I did with the G pen. Sorry, something came up on my screen. So we're just gonna try it. We're just gonna see how it goes. And I also want to talk a little bit about like how he inked things, because I think what we're looking at. Oh, I want to make sure I'm not inking on that layer. Okay, we've got the right pen. We've got the right layer. I think the thing that impresses me most about inkers from like this era are that like these are like brush strokes. These aren't like, kind of like back and forth like that. It's more like it's like a one movement for everything. And let's, like, fortunately I live in a time where, like, I'm using Procreate, and I can undo things. Like, I can undo lines that I don't like. But he must have, like, I don't know, he knew what he was doing. Like, see all these nice thin lines. And one of the things I'm noticing about this brush is like this here, where it's got kind of this like little ball at the end of it. And I don't know if it's just like that's me using it, or if that's like the way that it goes. Like, I don't know if that's just like a feature of the brush. And I don't know, like I'm kind of zoomed in and you can kind of see it's pixelated. I guess at this level it's not so bad, but I'll just have to like do some more work to look at if that's how it is. And let's see like that again. I wonder if like that's just like the way that I'm using the brush because it doesn't always happen that way. I don't know. I like this brush so far. I mean, it's definitely like giving me the things that I was missing with that G pen brush. And see, then like if I want like a little thicker, I can do a little thicker, and that's something that like more matches his style. Although I don't know what. Oh, there are two lines there. Okay. Yeah. I'm calling this a master's study. I don't know if that's like what this is, like if or if I'm just like if I should have just been like, oh yeah, I'm tracing something. Um, but this is really just for me to get like a sense of like how this guy inks things, or like seeing if I can like do ink the way that he did ink. Um, I've always really liked his style, so I've got a little picture of him up in the corner, and the way that I became familiar with him is Mad Magazine. My brother was an avid collector of Mad magazines. He used to get them, like, that would be like his Christmas gift, would be a Mad magazine, which also meant that, like, I got a Mad magazine. Uh, and I don't know. Let's see. So my brother, like, we were reading them in the late 80s, we were reading them in the early 90s, and, obviously Wally Wood was not producing for Mad Magazine at that time, but I'm wondering if they just like kept rerunning stuff he did, because I feel like I'm really familiar with his style without even like doing a bunch of work like looking at his style, but I don't know if that's just because like his style is so iconic. He was really one of the inkers that was happening in the golden age of comics. His style is really associated with sort of that classic comic book look, because I mean, as you can see where he did that Marvel thing, like he's really like I don't know, his style is just great. Like if we go out and look at like this thing that he's made, I'm gonna take off mine, and you can see I just pulled it off of Pinterest, because that's where they had it, but he's got just such strong use of brush line, like especially like if we look at like this stuff here, like the way that this horse's chest and like the legs, like this part of the leg, how that's like done with ink, that's so cool. He really can simplify the planes. Like I feel like this would like print so well in black and white, which is why he's someone that I wanted to study. And also that if you have like just even like these little guys down here, like he can do a lot with just a little bit of ink, but you can still like see the ink, like this stuff right here, like this is all just like really nice ink work. And I think he's not doing stuff like this. He's not like making the shape and then filling it in. He's just doing it all, I assume. Oh, see, I might need a bigger brush there. He's doing it all just with ink, like one run of the brush, but you have to know like exactly what the brush is doing, and I'm like not quite there yet. I can kind of get it for this smaller stuff, because I think he would be using like one brush size. He wouldn't have the ability like I have. Oh no, that's not right at all. See, I gotta go smaller. He wouldn't have the ability to just sort of switch on the fly, and I guess that's kind of what I'm looking for, like in inking style, would be like where I don't really have to be like switching brush size back and forth. But obviously I'm not Wally Wood. I haven't been like inking Marvel comics for like the past 100 years. And I mean, there's a lot of differences between Wally Wood and I, but that is definitely one of them. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I think for this, yeah, I don't know how to. This is something I'll have to like look into, but we can just do some of this like smaller stuff. I am liking this pen so far. I certainly don't regret it. It was not like super expensive, as far as like, I don't know. It's almost at some point when you're buying digital assets, you're like, wait, I'm paying $12 for pixels, but someone had to make this. Someone had to like get into it and like do all the settings, and I certainly, obviously couldn't do it myself. But that's okay. Okay, we're gonna just fill this part in. This is nice where he gets like all these nice little details, like, so this is the detail of the saddle, and of the face. Like, this is nice too. I don't know, what the heck, let's do the face right now. So we'll just kind of get... I'd like to believe that this is good practice for getting better at inking, but I don't know if I'm just like doing it because it's like something I enjoy and it's like not actually improving my inking at all. But I don't know, there are worse ways to spend Labor Day. If you're in the US, that is. Also, I apologize again for the sound if... I don't know, it's sort of like with live streaming, it's like, one, no one's watching this. No one will probably watch it. Like, I'll probably be like, Dad, I did this thing, and he'll be like, oh, that's great, I'm totally gonna watch it, and I'll come back and like, no one will have watched it. But just in case that like somehow this becomes a thing and I've got like 4,000 videos and you're like, oh, I wonder what the first one was like. And you're like, oh, I hope what you say is, oh God, the sound was awful. And it got much better, because then that would mean that like I actually improved the sound. I feel like the setup's okay, but I have a fan going because it's like 1 billion degrees outside, which for Oregon means it's like 85. But okay. This is such a nice crown. Like, you see, it's got like that like thicker line right there. I think it like gets thick at the bottom. And I was like, with this pen, like, we can go thin, we can go thick. Can we start thick? No, it's hard to start thick. You can't start like with that. You have to get there. So you have to start with the thinner side and then get thick. I feel like there's still something that like about his style that I'm not quite capturing in this brush. Which, I mean, isn't alarming, because it's like this is like it's a digital equivalent of whatever it was he was doing. And the thing that kind of kills me the most is, no, it doesn't kill me. It's totally fine. It's like, I wish that there was video of him inking. So I could like watch how his body moves, and watch the materials that he's using. And that it might actually exist and I just like haven't uncovered it. But that's what I appreciate like most about like people who are inking now, or people who do like things now, is that basically that we can just like, we can see what they did. We don't have to like rely on interviews or anything like that. It was kind of fun. I think like he's got such like nice line weight. Like, you can tell it's done by ink. Like this, like, but you also get like the sense of the face. I think of, and maybe someday I'll do it, Prince Valiant, which is kind of what this artwork makes me think of. And if Prince Valiant, if you never read it, was a comic strip, and it was like about, I don't know, like, sometimes I need to fix the hotkeys. Sometimes it like just goes to the eraser and I'm not like into that. But anyway, Prince Valiant was a comic in the paper, and it was kind of, see him, like, I wonder if he used like a different pen for that. Because, the line I drew before, like, this isn't quite right. I wonder if he had like a smaller, or like a, because it's like you want to get the sense of the space between this stuff, but you also have some of these like thick. I feel like that's closer. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Prince Valiant, not important. But it was knights in shining armor, doing stuff in the world, and like Prince Valiant, probably, like, you might know him more now because, like, if you ever watched the, oh boy, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, not the Gene Wilder one, but the Johnny Depp one, and then people are always saying, oh, people who had read Prince Valiant were like, oh yeah, he's got a Prince Valiant haircut. So it's like, it's like that bowl haircut. And I've spent a lot of time now talking about Prince Valiant, but like, what are you gonna do? You can change the channel. You don't have to listen to me talk about that. But joke's on me. Nobody's listening to this anyway. Anyway, the whole point of bringing up Prince Valiant is that I assume, although I haven't checked in like a million years, that the inking was not as nice as this night. Like that was it. That was the whole rambling monologue was just to say that. Okay. I find that it's helpful sometimes to like it looks really good when you've got the underlayer on. And then when you turn it off, you're like, is it good? I don't know, it's alright. I mean, I'm no Wally Wood, but let's see. And then he's got like this kind of nice little texture in here. I feel like this brush is handling that kind of stuff pretty well. I think this is supposed to be chainmail. It's got these kind of nice circular shapes, but it's not like regular. It's not like he had a stencil or something. He's just kind of filling it in. Denser in some spots. And I think because like this is like the main character and it's the one that's closest to the camera, or you know, to the viewer, or the plane of viewing. I think that's, yeah, I think that's why there's so much detail in that spot, because you can see it's like this guy is like super close, so it's like everything that is part of the horse is going to get a lot more detail than, you know, sort of this stuff back here, which has like no detail at all. Oh, and here's, you can see I was working with that G pen and it gives like that shape to it. That's funny that that pen, like that geometric shape, and that's really what led me, although I guess from far away you can't tell. I don't know, people, like, I don't know that there's like a wrong way to do it. But we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Sorry, sometimes I get distracted. Like I said, this is my first live stream ever. So I'm always kind of like, wait, is this actually working? Is this going anywhere? Okay. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, I don't know. Like, sometimes when I watch, like, people who do inking comics online, which is like, there's like a small but like dedicated crew. They do a lot it's like this kind of inking where it's like long strokes, but like a lot of them to make one line. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because they're the experts and I'm obviously not. But I do think there is something into like just having it all in one. I think that's what Wally Wood was doing, but I couldn't be sure. I'd have to like see. I'd have to like just see someone inking. See, I had to make the brush a little smaller there. Oh. It is fun, all these details. I wonder if Wally had fun drawing this. It's kind of different than like his normal stuff. If you look up like his body of work, one, it's like basically just a lot of horny dude stuff, like you know, ladies who are like have been taken captive by, you know, the whoever, and they're like chained naked to like a fence post or something, or it's like people in space, ladies chained up in space, and everybody's got like a huge rack. But I don't know, that was the time. But anyway, so this one is more unusual because it's all men, and it's also like medieval. He's like known for his comic book stuff, and he's known for I guess he did like Silver Surfer and Daredevil, but like this, I'm not sure where this came from. It just seems like it's like a different subject matter than he might normally choose to ink, but you know, it's cool. He's a funny guy. If you read about him, I'll do another one of these about him. Haha, I'm saying that like this is like a thing I do. Maybe it will be. I appreciate anyone who listens to this. Like, seriously, thanks for coming out. I don't love that. I feel like circles are kind of the hardest shape to get, because you know when it's wrong. Like, you know, like what a circle's meant to look like. Like these things, like if I put them in the wrong spot, like who cares? But if you're just gonna do like a crummy circle like that, like, I don't know, people gonna notice. And it's also like with inking, it's like, I think the value of practice for something like this, like, comes in just like being able to stop. Like a lot of, like, you know, you could go too far for the line and you can come back and erase that later, but it's better if you can just get like that line where it is. Something I haven't really figured out yet is like filling in like the super dark spots, but I'm kind of wondering, like, I think we'll do everything else first and then we'll go back. I wonder what causes that with this brush. Like sometimes I feel like I get like a big ink spot that I can't quite figure out. I don't know. Also, this is kind of interesting, like this line here, you can see it's like it's got a really heavy line on this side of it and then like a light line on this side of it. I think that's just like part of inking style to like get in somehow like an illusion of depth. Yeah, I like this brush that I'm using, but I don't know, it's not like exact, which I don't think is possible. Again, like here's the thick line, thin line, here's the thin line for the top, and then kind of this thicker line on the bottom. Okay. I'm just chatting, like just saying things. It's like, I don't know if this is interesting to watch. If I'm not chatting, I guess you, like, if it is, you can always just turn off my voice. Makes me think of my grandma. Like, my grandma just can't stop talking, and if there's silence, she'll just keep talking. And, like, I'm not that kind of person in real life, but, you know, live streaming on YouTube, different story. Especially when it's to no one. Like, maybe one person will watch this later. See, that's kind of cool. It's like you go, like, small, and you're like, what was I drawing? I don't know. And then you go big, and you're like, oh, yeah, it's that thing. Yeah, look, and it's so nice I can just, like, undo. I know not everybody's into, like, digital art, but, like, for me, one of the things that, like, is the best about it is, like, the fact that I can undo. Like, I've just done so much more artwork since I started, you know, doing it digitally. Okay. The good thing too is that, like, I don't know, it seems less intimidating somehow to work digitally. Because, like, no one has to see it. Like, no one can, like, thumb through my notebook and, like, see all my failures. And I don't have to see all my failures when I thumb through my notebook. I don't know. I really like inking. Like, when I was a kid, I just liked coloring. Like, drawing is stressful because you have to, like, get stuff to look right. But, like, coloring, like, this is something else. And I'm doing it because I would like to draw my own stuff and ink it. But sometimes, like, if it is mine, it's just, like, stress. Like, the inking, like, this just allows me to practice without stress because someone else has already, like, done all the hard work. Okay, I want to go back and look at that hand. I think hands and faces especially are, like, super important in the inking, and if you can't, like, get what was meant to be happening, like, people are going to notice that more than in other spaces. I think, so here's one of the times where, like, I think just using, like, one line gives a more interesting look as opposed to, like, sort of that fill in, fill in, fill in. Like, if you can just do it in one go, it looks cool. I don't know. I feel like I'm making it up. Like, I'm not an expert. Don't listen to me. Or listen to me, but, like, I don't know. Be like Horatio Kane on CSI Miami, like trust but verify, which he got from Reagan, which is like, I don't know, feels weird. To have like the guy in CSI Miami, like, I don't know, be like, oh yeah, you know who's a really great guy to quote? Ronald Reagan. I don't know. Sometimes those kind of things are funny. You know, see this is like a really like standard of comic book inking to have like this line and then all these little things coming out. I don't think I'm like doing it exactly right, but that's okay. I like his robe. I feel like that's a nice touch. Okay, I was gonna look at the hand. Ooh, let's get that line in there. Because I feel like if the hand doesn't look, I feel like it looks like a hand. I don't know. It's like, this part is weird. I'm like, what's going on there? Like, what does it look like? Was I really getting the lines right? I think, what's the difference? I think this line kind of keeps going. Like let's get just like, let's give that just a little bit more. Okay. I think that can go. Let's look at it again. Yeah, I think that's closer. I don't really know what this is. Like, I don't know what this little piece is. But we're just gonna leave it be. It's not like I have to, like, submit this to anybody. It's more just for my practice. Like, if I notice things. And you notice, like, in a lot of, like, inking books or just, like, art books in general, they'll have you, like, draw a lot of lines close together. It's like, this is why, this exact moment. So that, like, they know you've got the fine control to, like, start and stop the line where you want. I feel like that's not exactly it. Like, I didn't exactly get all the lines, but it's pretty close. Also, I find it more fun to practice that kind of thing on, like, actual stuff, as opposed to just, like, okay, here it is, I drew all the lines. I think the important thing is that it's like the follow-through. It's like golf, so it's like if you draw it straight, what you shouldn't be doing is, like, that's really exaggerated, but, like, I don't even know if I can do it with this brush. We're just kind of, like, like, if you're, you're starting and then moving. Like, you want it to just be, like, one straight line from beginning to end. And something that Wally Wood does is that he, like, will kind of have these guidelines that he's working with. Okay, so now we're gonna just, ugh, that one's too thick. Still getting used to this brush. Then you can see, like, here it's thicker, and he's just kind of coloring it in. Okay. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, I like this brush. I don't know. I feel like it's not like, I feel like the brush might be out there, but, like, this will work for now. Again, he's got all these, like, nice, got all these, like, it's like almost that marker. He probably uses, like, a combination of brushes. I just don't know where they are. Remember how I said not to do all that stuff and then it looks like that? Oh, okay. More of those little line practices. Again, me just talking. Okay. I think this is, like, meant to be the guy's hairy arm. I just think it's funny. It's like, of all the textures, like, cross-hatching really, like, does nice hairy arms. Well, it's kind of interesting, like, I think this, I wonder if it'll read more like an arm, and, like, this reads as something kind of funny. Like, it almost looks like an eye in his chest. If we go into it, I wonder, even though if it's not, like, I might just fill that part in just so it doesn't look so much like an eye. And so it's like sometimes some of the arm gets lost here too. Like, it doesn't have like like a finishing line or a separating line. Like I don't think that's bad. I'm just trying to figure out like where his arm actually comes in at. Seeing he's got these areas that are like way bolder. Okay. Or it's like, is this whole thing his arm? Yeah, it's a little bit hard for me to parse, but I'm sure it's my error, not his. Okay, just kind of. That's a little thicker. Okay, getting there. Huh. Let's look at it without the background. Yeah, it's funny, like this arm bit right here, it's like should this come all the way here? Like is that what like makes it like is the arm emerging? Like I guess it's like maybe it needs like that. We don't really have the other side to compare it to. Like maybe if like this part was deleted, I'm not sure how to make that arm read better. It's a mystery. We'll leave it for now. We'll just give it a little more shade and, hope for the best. Again, I think the concurrent viewer is me. But thanks for whoever's here, or whoever's watching this in the future. Okay. There's one more thing I want to try. So it's like, see these little guys down here, and then see how it has like these dots everywhere? That's halftone pattern if you're not familiar with it. And one of the things that they don't really have in Procreate is a halftone, like a free halftone brush. So this brush set I got has halftones that you can add to stuff. Let's just get some of these little guys in here. I don't know, for some reason, I just love these like half-drawn, or like these little tiny like you can still tell what it is, but it's like really abstract or really small. They're almost like stick figures. I'm just like so impressed. I'm like, dang, how'd you learn how to draw the backs of Roman centurions, Wally Wood? Did you go back to Rome? I don't know. I just think that's like, I don't know, there's something to being able to draw like this, and I'm so envious, and I feel like when I try it, it just looks like garbage. But I don't know, maybe stuff like this will help me get better at it. Who knows? Okay. I like finding these spots where you can just see the use of the pen like that. Okay. It's like these nice little legs. See, that's sometimes the practice too, where it's like, look how I can't get this line. I just want to start here and stop there. Sometimes it just takes a little while. Which is why I hope this is good practice. Like, I feel like hopefully everything is like making my motor control that much better, so that when I go to ink my own stuff, it'll be good and not crappy. Like, hopefully like some of it will wear off on me. We'll see. Oh, ghost of Wally Wood, like, help me draw a lady's bosom. I feel like that's the thing that would get him, and I'll be like, surprise, it's actually just normal things, and he'd be like, dang it. That was me trying to summon the ghost of Wally Wood to help me ink things, by the way. I'll let you know how it goes. Look at this guy's little chicken legs. That's hilarious. He's like the centurion that's like skipping leg day. Okay. Let's give him a head. Okay. Okay. That guy's, it's like a thumb. It's like a thumb army. But I mean, you can tell it, like, you know, it's a bunch of little guys. No one's looking at these guys except us. God, he's so good at it. Like, with just a few lines, like, we've got, like, and this stuff all over here is like, oh, yeah, now we've got it. We've got, I don't know, we've got the suggestion of it. Okay. That's sloppy. Sorry. I apologize for that sloppy work. I just want to get to the halftones. Okay. Oh, nice. He's even got like a little shadow for his leg there. All right, let's just get like a start for that. It's like impossible to take a good screenshot of something from Pinterest. But Pinterest is a great place to find stuff like this. Ugh, that's sloppy. And it looks like an ear. Sorry, my cat's trying to get into the room. He's like pissed that I'm here. Okay, let's do that better. That's not it. It's like a thinner line. Sometimes circles really are the hardest. It's close enough. Okay. I feel like, I don't know if like it is possible to digitally to get that sense of the brush. Like maybe not yet. I haven't tried like Clip Art Studio. Oh, look at this foot. That's so cool. God, it's just like 3 lines and it's there. I hate him. Because he's so good at it. Okay. Just oof, a little thinner. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get the rest of that horse in there. Okay. This one's funny. This one's like more complicated because it's closer. It's like he can't help himself. Alright. Murder weapon, nice. Okay. That's pretty... Oh, we're missing some ground. Okay, that's better. Alright, let's look at it without the background. Okay. Let's try something. So I'm going to turn off that layer and I'm going to make... This is a layer that I made. It's not an interesting story. I'm not going to tell it. Okay, so the things that comes with these inking vintage ink brushes is that there is a halftone dot brush. And so I've got it like on another layer. We can see, so we can just put it like over. But these halftone dots are really big and it doesn't matter how big you make the brush. Like it just gives you more halftone dots. But I think I'm going to do is I can just edit it and make a new version. And it's the scale of the halftone dots that I want to be smaller. So I'm going to take them down to like maybe 7%. Say done. And then that it's not quite Right. Let's try again. Instead of 7, let's go 10. Okay, let's see how that goes. It's close. I don't know, are we close enough? Just kind of put that in there. And it kind of like disappears there. I wonder, let's try just kind of like a soft erase. And that's how we'll kind of let it like fade for that one. There's like better ways to do this. Maybe someday I'll show you, assuming I don't abandon this channel like I've abandoned so much in my life. You know, just a little joke for you and me. Okay, we're gonna do this rough and ready. Gonna kind of delete. I'm using a soft airbrush because I find that that's really forgiving, especially around the edges. Like, it doesn't have to look perfect. And a lot of this is gonna get covered up anyway. I'm just gonna delete. There's so many better ways to do this. Please forgive my incompetence. I guess it's not wrong because it's just like, if you were trying to do this professionally, if like this is not a professional method of applying halftone dots or deleting halftone dots, like no, you'd want to like do it right. What that is, I'm not exactly sure, but okay. I'm not going to worry so much about the ones in his legs because that's just going to get covered up later. Let's just kind of lightly. Okay. Let's turn that off. Okay, that looks alright. And you can see like the airbrushed edges and the way that it's different. There's actually some moire patterning going on where it's like the overlay creates patterns. Like, this is like not ideal. You don't want it to look like that, and you can change that through screening. So I guess like going forward, like that's something I'm gonna have to think about. Like, that was a really easy way to apply halftones, but there's probably a better way to do it. You can see the effect now. It looks a lot more like the one from the background, but I think the one from the background has like also actual like coloring behind it. So let's do one more layer. And let's do an airbrushing pen, just because, again, forgiving. We're going to take it down to 30%. We're just gonna, oh, nope, too big. Just going to kind of color in that area. Again, this is not recommended. This is like quick and dirty. I don't know what is recommended. It's not this. So if you're just like, how am I doing it? Be like, oh, whatever K-Mac did, don't do that. Because that wasn't it. I think it gets even softer up here. Like, it kind of, and then it kind of like gradiates out into the distance. Yeah. Okay, let's turn mine off. Let's turn his on, turn it up, just get a comparison. Something else to keep in mind that I haven't really gotten is like this is this portion here. Like, he's got this kind of like effect, like this ink effect that I haven't quite figured out yet, but maybe I will someday. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do there yet. I don't know. I find that I'm liking this new pen, and I'm going to keep using it. And otherwise, if you ever watch this, thank you. If no one ever watches it, that's cool too. Yeah, but maybe I'll try another one. We'll get further along with this guy. We'll look at other illustrators, but that's it for now. I'm not gonna say all that cheesy stuff like, comment, and subscribe because, like, nobody is watching this, but, you know, someday maybe I will. I don't know, someday maybe I'll be a real YouTuber or something like that. In any case, it's been great